Have you ever thought about how a single sentence can sometimes hold the key to an entire story? Well, in the book of Revelation, there's a verse that does exactly that. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most powerful statements of victory in the entire text, and what it really means when a place in heaven isn't just lost, but totally erased from the map. So here it is, Revelation 12, verse 8. It's short, it's punchy, and wow, does it sound final. On the surface, you get it, right? Somebody won, somebody lost, and the loser got kicked out. But the real power, the true depth of this declaration, is hiding just beneath the surface, in the original Greek words. To get the full picture, we've got to do a little linguistic detective work. So let's put on our investigator hats for a minute. We're going to break this verse down into its most important Greek parts. Because by looking at the exact words the author chose, we can unlock a level of meaning that the English translation, as good as it is, just can't quite capture on its own. Okay, our first clue. Right before our verse, there's this epic war in heaven. And the outcome is stated simply: the dragon and his angels prevailed not. The Greek phrase for this is ouk ishisen, and believe me, it describes a defeat that is way more absolute than you might think. This is so important. The root word here is shio, is all about having strength, having might, having power. So ouk ishimen doesn't just mean they lost the battle. It means they were found to have no strength to begin with. It's like showing up for a heavyweight fight and having no muscle. It was a complete, total, utter failure of their power.
All right, on to the next piece of evidence. What was the consequence of this total failure? Well, the verse says their place was found no more. The key Greek word here is urathe, and the way it's used tells us everything we need to know about how permanent this eviction was.
Now, this might seem like a small grammatical detail, but stick with me because it's huge. The verb is passive. It doesn't say they couldn't find their place again. It says their place was not found. You see the difference? It implies someone went looking, and there was just nothing there. The place itself ceased to exist. It wasn't just lost, it was gone.
And finally, we have this tiny little word that packs a massive punch. It's the adverb ipi. This one word is what slams the door shut, bolts it, and throws away the key. When you pair Eddie with a negative like it is in this verse, it communicates absolute finality. It means no longer, not anymore, never again. So this wasn't a temporary banishment. This change is forever. Their place was found no more. Period. End of story.
Okay, so we've put the words under the microscope. We have a complete failure of strength, a place that literally vanished, and a finality that means forever. Now let's switch to the telescope. What's the grand cosmic story that these clues are painting for us?
What we're looking at here isn't just the final score of a single battle. No. This is describing a fundamental restructuring of the entire spiritual cosmos. It's about absolute defeat followed by permanent displacement. This really gets to the heart of it. The source material frames this as the total collapse of an entire agenda. Every attempt to stop the divine plan, whether it was using figures like Herod or entire political systems, it was all part of this one big war. And all of it, according to this view, completely and utterly failed. The war was over.
And now we get to the second half of the verse, and honestly, this might be the biggest takeaway of all. That phrase, their place was found no more, it isn't talking about cosmic real estate. It's about a job title, a position, a sphere of influence. Their authority to operate in the heavenly realm was completely and permanently revoked. It was a total stripping of rank.
This table really lays out the before and after. Before this moment, the adversary had a role, a voice of accusation against believers. But after this victory, which is tied directly to the work of Jesus, that authority is gone. The voice is silenced. The power to condemn is broken. It's a complete and total regime change in the heavens. But when something that big is removed, it doesn't just leave an empty space. The removal of that old authority wasn't just an ending. It was the definitive start of something brand new, something unshakable. And this is where it all connects. The cross wasn't just an event on earth. It was the cosmic earthquake that shook everything. And after all the shaking was done, what was left standing? An unshakable kingdom. A new, permanent reality was established. So, a cosmic legal drama from 2,000 years ago. Fascinating, right? But why does it matter to us, right here, right now? Well, let's bring it all down to earth, because this heavenly reality is supposed to have a massive impact on our earthly one. You see, this famous prayer suddenly takes on a whole new light.
The victory we just unpacked in Revelation 12:8, that is the as it is in heaven part. It's already done. The heavens are cleared, the accuser is evicted, the kingdom is come. So the prayer is now an invitation for us to bring that finished heavenly reality down to our streets, our homes, our lives. So let's just nail this down. The main takeaway is this: the war is over. This isn't some victory we're still waiting for. It's an accomplished fact. At the cross, the adversary's authority was shattered. As a result, that voice of accusation has been permanently silenced in the courts of heaven. And that means the unshakable kingdom isn't just a future hope, it's the reigning reality right now. And that leaves us with one last really important question to think about. If the verdict is in, if the case is closed, and the accuser has been thrown out of court forever, what would it look like for us to stop living as if the trial is still going on? What does it look like to start living in the full reality of that victory, right here and right now?